The same organizational principle operates here as well. Gradient, flow, regulation. Only through two different pathways. A stimulus arrives, light, sound, touch, a word. Physically, it is a signal. Chemically, receptor binding. Biologically, a neural impulse. From here, the patch divides. One patchway is fast and archaic. The signal passes through the thalamus directly to the amygdala. Here, there is no analysis, only pattern recognition. Familiar, dangerous, relevant. The amygdala immediately activates the hypothalamus. The hormonal response begins. Heart rate rises. Muscle stands, attention narrows. This is the emotion-based response. The other pathway is slower and evolutionary younger. The signal travels through the sensory cortex and associative areas to the prefrontal cortex. Here, interpretation occurs. What is this? What does it mean? What should I do? This is the conscious response. Physical difference. The emotional pathway passes through fewer synapses, faster signal transmission. The conscious pathway passes through more processing stages, slower but more precise. Chemical difference. Emotional pathway, adrenaline and cortisol dominate. Conscious pathway, dopamine, serotonin, and GABA provide fine modulation. Biological difference. By emotional pathway, immediately bodily mobilization. By conscious pathway, regulation, inhibition, replanning. The goal of the emotional response is survival. The goal of the conscious response is adaptation. The emotional response is black and white. The conscious response is nuanced. Emotion narrows attention. Consciousness expands perspective. In healthy functioning, the two do not work against each other, but sequentially. First, the amygdala decides whether something is relevant. Then, the prefrontal cortex decides how one should actually respond. When the system is balanced, the cortex can dampen the amygdala. When the system is overloaded from stress, trauma, exhaustion, the amygdala takes control. This is why we sometimes experience "I reached before I thought." The same pattern as everywhere before. Rapid flow along gradients. Regulation at a higher level. Emotion is the first signal. Consciousness is the correction. The pattern remains: gradient, flow, organization, regulation, balance. Now, the carrier is no longer the cell and no longer the body, but the large structures of human coexistence. States, institutes, religions. The individual as the cell with capacity, needs, and information. When many individuals interact in stable pattern over time, an institute emerges, organized cooperation for a specific task. When networks of institutes maintain order, the state emerges. When meaning, value, and norm structure a community, religion emerges. The state bodily analog. Physically, the nervous system, fast signal, rapid intervention. Chemically, the hormonal system, laws and rules with slower lasting effects. Biologically, homeostasis, order under changing conditions. Gradient, differences in researches, security, and power. Flow, taxation, information, services. Regulation, law, administration, institution. Balance, public order, predictability. The state appears where individual interactions are no longer sufficient for stability. The institution corresponds to the organ in the body, a specialized function serving a goal. School, transmission of knowledge, analogous to neural networks. Hospital, restoration, analogous to regeneration. Cure, correction, error, repair. Economic organizations, distribution of energy and resources, analogous to metabolism. Institutions stabilized cooperation just as organs stabilize function. Religion is not primarily as apparatus, but a system of meaning. In the psyche, it corresponds to how experience becomes meaningful. At the social level, it provides norm, value, and identity. Gradient, uncertainty, fear, the unknown. Flow, stories, symbols, rituals. Regulation, moral, norms. Balance, social cohesion. Religion operates where mere rule is no longer sufficient and meaning is required. The interplay of the three, The state regulates behavior. Institutes organize function. Religion orders meaning. Bodily analog, nervous system is state. Organs is the institutes. Psyche, meaning making, is religion. All three answer the same question. How can coherent balance be maintained in the coexistence of many individuals? Through the same law, we observe it in the cell and on the planet. Gradient, flow, regulation, balance.